Evening everybody. Yep, only my second video to the channel, but already starting to, well, try and think out of the box. But I've just realised Patrick Dickinson's already done it as I looked on a YouTube video last night, but never mind. What I'm doing tonight, I'm on the North York Moors, is I'm going to use my old equipment from the 1980s. This was equipment that was bought for me by my dad, who was a keen walker, as I was and still am, and we bought the equipment primarily to do the Pembrokeshire Coastal Path, which was a beautiful walk. I'm sure it still is a beautiful walk. I haven't been there for a long while, but 180 miles of coastline. It rained on the day we left and it rained on the day we came back, but in between 2 weeks of solid sunshine. It was glorious. So what I thought I'd do, just to try and bring back some of those memories, is I would use the tent that my dad bought me, the rucksack that he also bought me, and the sleeping bag and mat that, guess what, yep, he bought me. So I was a lucky lad, because the stuff he bought was top notch, and that's probably why I'm still able to use it today. I still use one item every year, every time I go to rock festivals such as Download and Stone Dead. Keep it metal. Yeah, this is it. It's laid on the floor here. I don't know if you're getting that, but I can tell I don't do these videos very often. That's the Jaguar. I tell you what, I'll reverse the camera properly. Yeah, there it is. That's the Jaguar 6, which is a beast of a sack. It was actually made for the British Army just after the Falklands War kicked off. In fact, for a while you couldn't buy these because the Army literally bought the lot from Carrymore. This, of course, was back when Carrymore was a decent brand, before Sports Direct got hold of it and basically wrecked it. But the material is superb. Granted, not light, which is something I've already noticed on coming up here, but 100% waterproof and very tough. Hence, that's why it's still in this condition. Also, there's the carry mat, which I was talking about. Now, these, back in the day, this was pretty much the go-to sleep mat system. It's literally a centimetre of foam, nothing dramatic, a bit like the yoga mats and whatever you see kicking around today, but it did a job. It was warm, tear resistant, and yeah, reasonably comfortable. I mean, obviously it's only got a centimetre of cushioning, but it did the job. You probably notice inside it there's a green bag, which is part of that's the pole system that I'm going to show you later of the tent. And then conveniently next to it is the Trangia stove, which well, you can see that is the original Trangia stove. It's still in pretty good condition. The original strap even a bit rusty, but still does a job. Meth's burner. I'm going to be using that tonight to help cook my obviously traditional curry tea that I normally have on these wild camps. And next to it is a stove you can't buy or get anymore anywhere. This is the camping gas Globetrotter, of which I'll show you more about later on when I actually cook my tea. But this had the blue pierceable canisters that once they were pierced, that was it. You couldn't take them off the stove. But this one used little half canisters, a bit like the little ones you see today with the but with the valves. In fact, that's what I've had to do with this, because you can't buy the gas anymore. So I've had to do a bit of what's the word? Mix two stoves together, one from the past and one present, so that I can actually fit the gas canisters on. So anyway, that's enough of my waffling. What I'm going to do now is, well, I'm going to have a beer, because I mean, why not? I haven't pitched up yet. The North York moors are looking beautiful. In fact, the heather's out now, quite purple. So yeah, let's have a beer. Right, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pitch my tent, but I'm going to use that, you know, that cheat, that quick video thing. Watch me throw it up, and I'll come back to you. But you'll see, just a bit different from the tents that you see today. But still, it's a cracking tent, and yeah, I can't wait to get in it. Cheers, speak to you soon. There we have it. That is the Ultimate Equipment Tramp 2 backpacking tent, and this dates back, I got it, 1985. As you can see, it's superb low to the ground tent. I've added a footprint, but as you can see, I'm going to have to change that, because it certainly is not a Hulu Compact 3, but I found that the dimensions at the front fitted it perfectly. As you can see, it's very high at one end, not so high at the other. Obviously this is classed as the head end, but I'll take you inside. Go to the old YKK zippers even back then. Superb zips. I don't know if I can do this one-handed. Excuse me. There we go. And in we go. Like I say, this is a Hulu 3 ground sheet footprint, but we never had these back in the day, but I've got used to having them now, and they're just great for, well, just keeping yourself dry and what have you. Now this is the inside. This is and there she is. Look at that. Absolute acres of room for two, which of course that's what it was used for us, my dad and myself. And yeah, it is a lovely tent. You can see the space between the fly sheet and the inner is pretty close, but I think I'm going to adjust that later, because I think maybe I've got this slightly wrong, but I think it's just a bit too far down, I think, but I will adjust that. But as you can see, it does have a bit of damage. These are the infamous holes that my late dad left me with. He was an avid pipe smoker, and he didn't smoke in the tent, but he was cleaning out his pipe, and he honestly thought that it was all out and done, and he was just basically rooting around in it like, well, I don't know if you do know, but pipe smokers, they're like avid gardeners when they come start digging out their pipes. But yeah, he had a dig and a root about, and gave a big blow to blow out what he thought was just a bit of ash and dust, spent tobacco, so to speak. And yes, it sent a couple of well, not quite spent tobacco pieces up into the air. A couple of sparks came out the pipe and duly landed on the ground sheet and melted nice, neat holes in the tent. As you can see, the patches, we used actually some duct tape to patch it, and I've only just taken these off. As you can see, the colour difference between the two, but I'm going to actually repair these. But yeah, that is the tent. I'll bring you back when I start filling it up. Right, I've started to empty stuff into the tent now. But this is an old girl. This is the Mountain King by Ultimate Equipment. This was a 3/4 season sleeping bag back in the day. It was quite heavy, but it's not too bad. A bit bulky. That's the trouble with these hollow fibre bags. You can't pack them down as well as down. But anyway, in those days we didn't worry about how compact things were, because well, the technology didn't really exist. Down bags were about, but they were, as they are still, extremely expensive. This, however, was no cheap affair. I don't know what this would have gone for back in 1985, but it was enough. But yeah, I'll bring you back when I've pulled her out. Oh, if you excuse the expression. The sleeping bag. You naughty people. There she is, all laid out. She's looking a bit flat because she's been in a bag for probably the last at least 20 years, probably the last time I used it. But hopefully she'll fluff up a bit and give me a bit of warmth tonight. I have bought some cheats just in case. I have actually bought my other mat, which if it does get too cold, I'll put that up. After all, I am 55. I'm not 16, 17 anymore when I last used this in proper anger. But we shall see whether I'm going to be warm enough or not. I don't think it's going to get too cold tonight. There's a bit of cloud cover, so yeah, I think it might get down to low double figures. I would think probably 12, maybe, perhaps a bit lower. We shall see. So yeah, so this is my vintage setup so far. Tent, sleeping bag and mat. Only the stove to come, but that will literally be proof of the supper, hopefully. Bring you back later. 7 o'clock now. I'm pretty much all set up. Temperature is beginning to drop a little bit. That wind's quite, it's bringing the temperature down. But one good thing is it's keeping the bloody midges away, which is good news. Good news. I'm gonna get me tea on soon, I think, but there's something I think I ought to address. I've only had one beer so far, only the one, because I'm, I don't go at it like some do. So I thought before tea I'll have to have another one, just to, because I'm one of them that like things in equal numbers, so if I have one, got to make it right. But I've two, then we're good. But then if I accidentally spill over and get a third, well, you get my drift. It's just making sure you finish on an even number. That's what we need to do. But yeah, I'm going to be having the normal curry and rice as always, and I have some mini naans to which I'll hopefully be able to sort of toast or warm up on top of the Trangia pan when it gets hot. We shall see how that goes. It'll either be cold naans or warm ones. Nothing more to be said about that. But yeah, I have to admit I'm feeling quite nostalgic with the tent. I think of my dad a lot, and this just brings it home. They were good memories, good times, and that's what we've got to hold on to, isn't it? So anyway, let's not get all emotional. Let's enjoy the evening, have another beer, and crack on. I'll bring you back perhaps when I'm cooking tea. Alright, ciao for now. Right then, tea preparation will be started. First off, obviously I've got to boil some rice, which takes about 14 minutes. So I'm going to use my little camping gas setup. Now this stove used to be called the Globetrotter back in the mid-80s, or could have been late 70s, mid-80s, and they used to take one of those canisters that you had to pierce, and once the stove pierced the canister, that was it. You had to leave the canister actually on the unit, unlike today with these new needle valves, whatever they're called. However, this it was a superb piece of kit for its day. It was compact. If you excuse me, I'm afraid I'm not into this YouTube stuff properly yet. I haven't got all the proper mics, and I haven't got the proper tripods and stuff. I'm doing all of this literally on my phone, so I hope you appreciate there's going to be times when it's all going to be a bit wobbly and a bit out of frame, if you know what I mean. So I'll do my best to try and not let that happen, but anyway, here we go. So yeah, as you can see, it comes with two neat little pans with a pan holder, which literally, this is the original pan holder, and it literally just squeezes in and it holds it. Simple design. And as you can see, the actual top of the stove, it has like little lugs on each corner so that the thing can't come off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start boiling some water for my rice. So let's see if I can, I don't know if I can set this up right or not. It's got two chances. I don't know. Hopefully that's still in shot. If it isn't, then it isn't, and this will be a disaster of a video, and there we go, we'll end it there. So anyway, let's put some water in. Plenty of water so we can get it going. That might be a bit too much. I'll drop a bit in that one. Oh, I don't know though. Just put it all in. Right, and then get a lid. Right, well I've cheated. I bought a little sparker from home, which should work. So we'll just turn the gas on. There we go. Pretty windy. Hopefully I can get it going. What I will do is I'll use this. It's rather clever. This other lid can literally go on the top. Well, it's not a lid, other pan, but you can use it like a lid, so it just keeps the heat in better. So there we go. We're up and running with the boiling water. I'll bring you back when we start actually cooking. Okay. Right, whilst that water's bringing to the boil, I'm going to set my trangier up, and this is it. And this is my original trangier. You can probably tell it's the label's died a bit, and it dates back to, well, when he bought it, 1985. Again, that date keeps coming up. But this was a meth stove. But you can use meths, or you can use sort of bioethanol. I've got some bioethanol here, which works just as well. I understand I've been told that it does tend to soil or soot the pans a little bit, but they're easily cleaned. It's people make a big deal about sooting on these trangiers, but they don't take a lot of cleaning, especially when you get home. You give them a good going over anyway. So that was the fuel I've just added, and then that's the sort of the windbreak, if you like, which supports a pan. Now the Trangier does come with two pans, two aluminium pans. I'm going to obviously just use the one, and it rather cleverly sits in that holder there like that. What I have forgotten about is that this Globetrotter was never quick. It's certainly no jet boil that you see today, which obviously I've been used to using, which is what I use now. But so I'm going to have to be careful getting my cooking times right with this. But we'll see how we fare. Hopefully I'll be able to get things underway very shortly. But yeah, I see the sheep are coming to join us in the distance. I can hear them bleating. They've just come over the hills. Don't know if you can see them, but hopefully they don't make a row during the night. A nice peaceful night, really. There they are. And you might be able to hear the grouse in the background with a funny call. It almost sounds like at times like a duck, but it's like a funny laughing call, but which brings it home that I'm actually camped on a grouse moor, which of course I'm not really supposed to be here, but whatever. I'm here. I was here fairly late. I'm going to leave early. No one will know I've been here. Leave no trace, of course. So, things I think are developing on the hot water front. So I'm going to break off and drop the rice in. Okay, there. Well, I've just lit the mess. I don't know if you can just about see the flame. It's almost invisible, but you might just be able to see it flickering about. So hopefully that will start. And what it does, if you look carefully, you can see like little I'll zoom in a bit if I can. See the little holes around the edge. It's a bit like a gas burner. When it gets so warm, it blooms and then starts to jet out those nozzles, and it creates like a gas and will burn through those nozzles, not unlike a gas stove, but obviously it's a bit steadier weight. But looks like we're getting there now. The rice is still simmering along nicely. Hopefully it'll be okay. So right, I'm going to start and put the curry on now, I think. And have these rather clever nippers that are, well, the design hasn't changed. In fact, if you bought a Trangier today, it would pretty much be almost exactly the same. The only thing with this one, it doesn't click together like the new ones. It literally just sits on top. But apart from that, it's identical. It works. The Swedish Army like it. So there we go. I don't know if this will work or not, but I've put the lid on it, and I'm trying to see if I can get my little mini naans warm as well, on top of this lid that goes on the Trangier. It may or may not work. It's we'll see what happens. What I've got to be careful, of course, is I don't boil the curry underneath, that's the only failing with the Trangier, is its controllability can be a bit indifferent. You can use what they call a simmer ring, but again, they sort of work to a point, so it's just controllability can be a bit iffy. Anyway, let's see where we're at. Right, I think we're now almost there. The rice is served. the curry is bubbling nicely. I must admit, I'll take my words back, I managed to get the simmering to work quite well, and it is just nicely simmering away. And I think whilst I start eating my curry, I'll see if I can just, in effect, fry off my naans and just well, not fry them, just get them, warm them through, get them hot, and then I can eat those as well and wipe up the bowl. I shall bring you back shortly when it's all served up. Cheers. Seems to be working a treat. I think we're going to have some warm naans, hopefully. Oh yes. Hopefully. Whew. Well, it's certainly cooling down now. You can certainly see my breath. But yeah, still, it's beautiful. You can see. Can you beat this? Look at that lovely purple heather. I'm lucky to live so near to the North York Moors that I can do this, but I recommend anyone get out and do it if they can, because it really is it clears the mind. Right, I'll bring you back before my naans burn. Look at them. Ah! Unfortunately, the wind has dropped sufficiently now for the midges to make an appearance, which is a bit of a twat. Yeah, they aren't much fun. So, although we are being quite retro with all our gear, I must admit, I'm not going to go totally without everything. So, I have bought my flex tail, which allegedly will give me some midge and mosquito protection. Whether it works properly, I think the jury's out. It maybe does help a little bit. I must admit they're not as angry as they were just now since I put it on. But yes, I think it's quite a handy little gadget. In fact, I'm just being bitten now, so maybe it isn't so good. But looks like I'm getting a bit of a sunset, but nothing too elaborate. In fact, nah, it's nothing really. But I'm just boiling some water for my washing up. But that curry and rice was excellent, and the naans, yeah, they were a bit of a success, but yeah, they were okay. It worked. So I'm going to get all packed up, set up, finish the beer that I've had. And the trouble is I've had 3 now, so I've got to have 1 more to make it, and then that's an even number, so we're good. So that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, I'll probably come back to you when I'm actually in the tent and ready for nights. So I'll see you later. Well, night's drawn in now. All you can hear are the grouse, the odd sheep, and in the distance you can hear the traffic noise on the Pickering to Whitby road, which is a bit annoying, but it'll die down. So yeah, this nostalgic throwback in time is, well, I'm loving it. I feel close to my dad. It's strange how take take you back with memories. That's why I shall never get rid of this tent, or that rucksack, or the sleeping bag. We shall see. We'll see how comfortable I am tonight with that carry mat, though, because I must admit, I'm struggling with a bit of a side strain in a minute, so it's a bit painful. But I have cheated a little bit. I have bought my blow-up mat if I need it. My big Agnes, she could be joining me. So hopefully that'll warm me up a bit. But we'll see how we get on. So unless I do blow the mat up, I will see you in the morning. And of course, cheers is now an even number. Good night. Good morning. Well, that was a comfortable night. It was alright. Yeah. I didn't cheat. I didn't get the airbed out. The old big Agnes. I stopped on the Carrymore, and yeah, it was okay. Please say my side strain this morning is a bit better as well, so it must be a good thing. Therapeutic, lying on these thin sleeping mats. Still a good night. Quiet, uninterrupted, I'm pleased to say. This morning it's a bit overcast, a bit misty. There's a breeze around, so it's keeping the midges away. And I'm just about to have a coffee, and then we'll just pack up and we'll head back. And it'll be it's been a success, let's just put it that way. I think it was lovely to come out in the old tent. It's brought back lots of great memories for myself. My 2 long distance trails I did with my dad. The sleeping bag performed. However, I think it's more my age thing. The fact that it doesn't have a zip, this sleeping bag that I use, this one. So you literally get in it from the top and slide it on. But it's when you're 55 and you're not quite as supple as you were. They're a zip down the side is nothing for me, but even so, I enjoyed the experience. And right, let's go on, get a coffee, then we'll pack up and get gone. Right, coffee in hand now. It's the only way I can start a day. Bit breezy, which is good. At least the midges are not about. It's a bit misty though in the distance. It's just a shame we didn't get a sunrise. But you can't order these things. You just have to stand sometimes and just enjoy it. Just realise how quiet everything is. It's just amazing. Oh, it's a bit breezy, mine, so that's. Wow, it's got my little wind measuring thing here. Yeah, it's just blown through about 6 or 7 miles an hour. You can read that. Probably back to front. I just realised because of the reverse camera. Never mind. But temperature, well, temperature's going up as I'm holding it. It's certainly not 13 degrees. In fact, it's dropping now back to where it should be. It's about 12.5 degrees, so it's not unpleasant. It's just a nice cool morning. So, anyway, we'll finish this coffee. We'll get packed up and walk back to the car. Yeah. Cheers. Just the one coffee. However, I know I was talking about drinks in pairs last night. I will get another coffee when I get home. So things will even up. So it's not all just about beer, you know. Honest. So anyway, we'll finish this coffee and get packed up. Right then, it's just a short walk back to the car. I'm all packed up, as you can see. Having great pack on my back. It goes without saying, and I know that at the end of every single video you must be sick of hearing it, but yep, that's where I was. Don't worry, I'll be picking my trucking poles up shortly, but yep, leave no trace. And that's exactly what I've done, and what I always have done and always will do. And if only everyone else on this planet would do something similar, and certainly in this country, apart from Scotland of course, you lucky devils, we may eventually get some legislation in where you have a right to camp within reason, as long as you're out of people's way, wherever you like, as long as you don't leave a mess. Then that's what it's all about. So I'll bring you back very briefly when we get back to the car and head off home. Right, back at the car. Looks like I did it, well, made it just in time because the weather's closed in, all drizzly now. But yeah, what a wonderful camp. Really enjoyed it. Let's get back home and a nice shower. So take care everyone, and yeah,